Feel amazing.
Yeah.
I'm in LA. It's beautiful, sunny. It's great. Love the weather.
Do you enjoy the pressure of headlining?
What's life without pressure, my man? You need that pressure to rise to the occasion and make good triumphs for sure.
All right, so next time you're in the press conference with Conor McGregor, you should know, right? After all
he
this,
he knows. He already knows. He knows exactly what's up.
when was the last time you did an interview without the name Conor McGregor?
Shit, man, you hear his name all the time. I mean, regardless, the most searched dude. You see him fighting Floyd Mayweather. How can you not talk about a guy like Connor? He's done great things in such a short amount of time. He's charismatic, so he's doing his thing, man. Props to him.
How big of an opportunity is this for you, being in the main event on Fox, the most possible years that you have had on Fox? You're the guy, you're in the main event. How big of a shot and chance is this for you?
It's a great opportunity. Fighters fight, and that's what we came to do. Coming off a great win, and who's fighting back to back like this? Name one champion. There's not. I'm the guy to do it. I've been around a long time. People know who I am. They know how I get down. Josh Emmett's coming off a great win. He's made a name for himself and put himself in a top spot, and he's the guy to beat right now. And that's exactly what I'm focused on. I plan on going in there and handling him.
Do you think like he is a deserving top contender? Because he has a big win over Long knockout, but he lost a fight last year to a guy who's not ranked. Do you think he's worthy of this spot?
That's not my job to decide whether he's worthy or not. I don't really care about any of that. He's the guy to beat. He's the guy in front of me. He's the number 3, the number 4 guy, whatever it may be. That's who the boss called me up to take him out like a hitman, and that's the guy to beat to get to that number 1 spot and get those rematches with Frankie or whoever it may be, Max. So those are the guys that I'm falling behind, and he's the guy that I'm focused on. That's the guy I got to beat to get to that spot, and is what it is right there.
Does Holloway being out of that fight with Frankie change anything as far as your path for the title, do you think?
Nah, not at all. Josh Emmett's the guy to beat right now, and I ain't worried about Frankie. I ain't worried about any of them dudes. Josh Emmett's the guy to beat, and we can talk after that.
Jeremy, you've been in the UFC for a while. You've had ups, you've had downs, you've had streaks. Why is right now the time in your career where you can really put together a title?
Because of those ups and downs, you learn a lot. The experience inside the octagon. If you look at my record, I've not had one easy fight. From 55 to 45, I fought the best of the best. Sometimes on short notice, and sometimes with full camps. Sometimes giving great performances, or losing decisions. So I take all that experience. I'm taking it with me. I feel like it's just like my last fight. This guy, he doesn't have the experience. He hasn't been in there with guys like me. And with the type of edge that I bring, the type of tenacity, the experience, I have a very good fight IQ. I'm something different. I'm something that you have to watch for. I'm dangerous all around, and I bring a lot of problems to the table. And I take that experience in there with me inside that octagon each and every time.
Your style is so it's such a war. You get into wars all the time. Have your coaches ever tried to maybe make you alter your style a little bit because you've been around for a while and you have been in so many wars?
Yeah, I've been in wars, but if you look, I don't take a lot of damage, my man. I'm usually inflicting the damage and putting them in on my highlight reel. So, and why take away something that's working? When I'm in there knocking people out, we go to wars and there's a battle, but I take less of the damage. Normally when I'm done fighting, I'm walking out healthy. My last fight, my guys are limping. They're on crutches, and they're getting wheelchaired out. So that's not me. I ain't getting wheelchaired out, man. That's not my style. I go in there, I inflict the damage, I try to get hit at least. You are going to get hit in this sport. I accept it, but I go home pretty healthy all the time.
How do you feel like you've evolved, Jeremy, going back to your days in '95, living in the Midwest, living in San Diego, Alliance? I mean, how do you feel like you've changed and evolved as a fighter and also as a man?
I've evolved every day, man. I'm a human. I make mistakes. I do shit that I'm not supposed to do, and I go back and I learn from it. You live, you learn. That's part about being a man, being a father, and being a fighter. I've learned from my losses. You can go back and look at my fights, and you can be like, damn, Jeremy's actually evolved every time. He's took that loss, he's accepted it, he's came back, and he's grown, and he's progressed and moved past that. I use the Charles Darwin theory. You know, again, is it's not the strongest or the smartest person who's willing to survive. It's the person who's willing to adapt to change. Can you make them changes? You know, now I'm starting to take that and make those changes in between rounds. As you can tell, the last fight, you know, I lost that first round. It was pretty close, but I was able to make the adjustments and do that inside the octagon. Dominic Cruz, good friend of mine, mentor, and just an overall leader. He was telling me about how you have to be able to make those changes minute by minute, round by round, second by second. And we're putting it all together like my man asked over there. That's what I'm doing at 31 years of age. My punch count's doubled now that you know, I've gotten older in my career, and things are getting better. And this is a lifestyle for me. I've made it into my life, and you know, I carry myself accordingly on the outside of the ring as well.
How about as a person? Do you think you've grown up? I'm sure a lot since
For
those
sure.
days.
If you're fighting and you're evolving, you're definitely growing as a person. Thing is you know, a lot of internet you know, geeks and all the people that behind there, they can sit behind the computer and be like, oh well, you should have done this or you could have done that. But I'm actually doing it in real life and doing it in like an art form. And you know, to make those changes, to make those growth, it takes a lot of balls. Anybody can look at somebody and pick them apart easily. That's easy to do in fighting because it's raw. You can tell what type of man I am by the way I get hit or the way I come back or how I deal with adversity, how I deal with a loss, how do I act when I win. You know, so that's there's a lot of growth in fighting, and there's things that you can take from fighting and put it into the real world.
I saw in your bio you say you never had another job except for this, except for fighting.
Oh no, I've had jobs
Okay.
before, you know.
For some reason in your bio, I guess you said you had nothing else. School of Hard Knocks. And
Oh, what by? Oh yeah.
Don't, UFC has on their
Yeah, that's fake news, man.
website. UFC.com is fake news.
No. I mean, I've been in the game for so long. So, I mean, I used to work at Midwest. There's a place called Quick Trip. It's like 7-Eleven around here. And I used to work in the most ghettoest one. But it was like one of my favorite jobs, you know. And I love working there. People would steal gas all the time, and you know, bums would come in. You know, I'd give an extra couple dollars if I saw like a bum was hurting. You know, he's bringing in like 5 cans. I'd give him like $5, and he kind of look at me, and I'm like, yeah, get out of here, bro. Like, so you know, I've had jobs before. I know what it takes, and I enjoy this job the best. It's not really a job; it's a career, and it's a lifestyle for me.
Jeremy, after fight, sometimes I hear you say something in Spanish. Like, do you have a connection to Latino culture? Do you have any Latino heritage?
Yeah. I'm quarter Mexican as well, and you know, my wife, she's full blooded. You know, and our daughters are Mexican as well. So, yeah, and I love all the foods, love the culture. I love all types of cultures, man. I love the Laotian culture. I have a lot of friends that are Laos, Viet, you know, Thai Dom. So I love everybody. I'm a human being, man. So is everybody else, and I love all cultures and lots of diversities.
Marshall's Black Nation, so it's kind of surprising when you see somebody who doesn't seem Latino, doesn't, they wouldn't pick that up from you. As you become a fighter, have you also kind of connected with that Mexican part of you? Because Mexicans have that tradition of being fighters who don't shy away from wars.
Yeah, the Mexicans love me, man. The Latino culture loves me. They love the way I fight. I bite down on my mouthpiece like Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, and if you see my dad, you definitely get it. My dad's way dark, brown-eyed. So is my mom. I got my light eyes from my abuelo, and it is what it is, man. I love the culture, like I said, and we get down.
When was it that you actually went to San Diego? What year was that? How many years ago?
I think I started going out there around like 2008, and I think I moved there in 2009. So yeah, I've been out there like 9 years living out there in San Diego. Yeah,
Can you see like I mean, was that a major pivot point for your career, like before that, and then being in San Diego out of line?
for sure. I started off at Des Moines Mixed Martial Arts with an old veteran, Josh Neer. He moved away to the Pat Miletich camp up in Davenport. I followed him up there, and then you know, they were kind of going under business, and excuse me, they were you know, they're having troubles business wise, and they're trying to keep the program running. And some of the top guys were moving out and going elsewhere. And at that point, you know, I moved, or I took the step and coming out here training, or San Diego training with Hermes Franca. It was an opportunity. I switched management at the time that I had a manager from back home, and I was seeking to better myself and to find training. And one of my first stops was Alliance MMA. And once I got there, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the coaches, the training partners. Everybody was super cool, you know, no egos. And, you know, you fall in love with this weather out here. It's February, and it's gorgeous. So, you know, can't complain.
You feel like San Diego is home now? Like, do you consider it home?
Yeah, 100%. Before, I'd fly back. I was always like, am I going to go back home? And I didn't feel like home. But after a couple of years, it's definitely home. That's where I lay my head, and that's where I see myself for many years to come. I'll always go back to Iowa and join my family and keep part of my roots there. But San Diego is definitely a place where I see myself living for a long time.
What is Eric Del Piero and that team down there meant for you as far as your career goes?
He's a beast, man. He's the music to my ears. Me and him got a great relationship. He's the type of guy, like he seems pretty cool when he's coaching everybody else, but then when we get in there and he's cussing at me and he's riling me up, and we go in there and handle business, and that's a special connection. That's something that I can't get from anybody else. If I was ever to, say lose Eric, say he gets hit by the beer truck tomorrow, I feel like that would play an effect on me because he's seen my ups, he's seen my downs. He knows how I fight. It's like I always tell people, it's like playing Mortal Kombat, and Jeremy Stevens is one of his favorite fighters to play with. He knows how to use me and go in there and make me get my win. So we have a great connection, and I love that. I love that connection.
So many fighters jump around camps nowadays and training different things. And you've been in Alliance now for many years, and you've grown there, and now you're right back on the cusp of title contendership again. Is that kind of a lesson? Do you feel like other fighters like maybe where you are now is not so bad. Maybe the grass is not greener on the other side in some cases.
Yeah, for sure. You got to find what works for you. What works for me isn't going to work for everybody. I'm a fighter who likes to stand up, knock people out. There's ground fighters. I'm a well-rounded fighter, but I like to stand up. But I can do it all, and we have it all there. Some people don't like that type of training. It's very rough. We go through some grueling wrestling matches. We spar hard. We get after it, and we bust our butt on the strength conditioning program. I feel like some people would do our strength conditioning and do our workouts on the weekends. They would just fold and cripple up. And some people come out here and they go home. They pack up 2-3 days later. You don't see them no more. And some people stay, and that's their fit. What works for me doesn't work for exactly everybody else, and we're a little bit of a smaller weight class gym. There's not really a lot of heavy weights or anything like that there, and we stick to what works, and what works for us is hard work and dedication.
You win this fight in Orlando. Where do you see this putting you in the welterweight title?
Puts me back here talking to you guys here in LA, and who's ever next. Right now, Josh Emmett's my 100% focus, and that's the only thing that I'm worried about. And once we beat him, we can talk about anything else after.
Do you remember that crazy situation a few years ago? I think it was 2012, the UFC on Fox card, where you were gonna fight, and then they came and they
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I
wanted to ask you, do you feel like that things have changed for you over the years, like since then? Like, do you feel like you're a different person than you were at that point?
Yeah, for sure. One thing I can take away from that, and I'll just go ahead and throw it out there, is I got knocked out by Yves Edwards. I had a situation pop up. I took a fight on short notice, and it was the most chaotic time of my life. It was the first time I ever really had to fight for money, and I wasn't in shape. I went in there, and I got knocked out. And Yves Edwards, what better guy to get knocked out by? I've been a fan of that guy for a long time. I still have no shame in that. And when I came back, I was way better. Because before, the Jeremy Stevens of old would have just hunted you down and not moved his head and just kept eating your punches and still knocked you out anyway. After that, it changed my game up. I started moving my head. I started finding better techniques. I started wrestling my butt off. I really learned a lot from that. And that was a real pivotal point in my life, and in all aspects of my life. And that was a game changer for me. And I'm very blessed that it actually did happen, because I'm a whole nother man, I'm a whole nother animal, and I'm still here in the UFC years later, still putting it down and giving you guys the highlight knockouts.
I think that was the only time you've ever been knocked out your entire career, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Was that just a lot of turmoil going on in your life there?
It's a combination of everything. Just I wasn't in shape for that fight. Yves Edwards was a great guy. He countered me with a beautiful right hook, and I was swinging so damn hard. I wanted to kill him. I had a lot to come back from. I put myself in a situation, and I definitely learned from it. So that changed my life, really. I told Yves that to the day. That guy will still call me up and interview me, and I have no problem with that situation and interviewing. I love Yves. Me and him have hung out before. He's a great guy, and I learned a lot from that. And I'm glad that did happen, because You know, if I didn't, you know, if I was still the same guy, you know, in this sport, if you don't grow, you're gonna get picked apart here pretty quick. You know, there's a lot of young, hungry guys coming up and taking guys out. Look at Emmett; he just knocked out a guy. You know, that can happen to anybody. But I learned from that loss, and I came back better. And you know, good luck doing that again to me.
How long do you see yourself fighting? Any years still?
You know, Mark Hunt's 43, still knocking guys out. You know, he just took a loss, but he's still knocking dudes out. You know, I mean, I'll rock it till the wheels fall off. Shit, if I make it till I'm 43, I'm gonna be making some really good money. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of money, you were on earlier today. You said that there is no bigger money fight than Floyd Mayweather. But looking in the UFC, looking in the weight classes that you were fighting, who do you consider to be those money fighters, maybe outside of Conor?
I don't feel like anybody else is bigger than Connor, so I mean, I would just stop right there. If you ain't first, you're last. Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, these guys are talking about money fights, money fights, money fights. Man, shut up and fight. You know, like I'm doing it back to back in a month's notice. Like I'm fighting. I'm making good money. Like I told people before, I made more money in 15 minutes than people do in 15 months. Why is that? Because I'm fighting, and I'm about to do it again. So, you know, my pay's going up there. I'm about to be a millionaire here real soon. So, I'm excited. You know, then the money fights is it's just not real. Shut up, fight. This is the business to fight. This is the reason why UFC calls me, because they know I'll fight and I'll step up. I was healthy. I'm taking advantage of a great opportunity, and I don't plan on disappointing people in Orlando and people around the world.
Do you feel like that Conor fight could ever happen to you and him?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
You move up to 155, probably is not going to be
Yeah, I fought at 55. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
You can fight at 70 if you want.
that.
No matter. We can fight. Anybody just really wants to fight, we don't have to make 45. We could just fight right now. I'm probably weighing like what, maybe 164 or something like that. I don't know. Let's just fight it that way. It don't matter. I mean, but you do it as professional. That's the way it is. You know, you sign the contract, you make the weight, you fight, and you do it on a professional scale.
Is that a fight that you actively want, though? Like, you even care about that fight?
Not right now. The only fight I care about is Josh Emmett. You know, Orlando, February 24th. Tune in. That's the only fight I care about. Like I said, anything after that, we'll talk later. Josh Emmett's the only guy on my mind right now.